Okay, welcome back, boys and girls. Today we are going to do the converse of angle relationships for geometry. The learning objective is to prove that two lines are parallel when we look at the angles. So if we have two lines cut by a transversal, we can prove whether those two lines are parallel. The school-wide learner outcome is to persevere in problem solving. So basically you're going to get something like this and on a test, and it's going to say find the measure of the indicated angle that makes lines U and V parallel and state the postulate or theorem that proves it. So if we remember, we just had a proof, and the proofs were, so we originally had the corresponding angle theorem, the alternate interior angle theorem, or postulates depending on your teacher, right? And then we did the converse. The converse goes backwards. If two lines are cut by transversal, so the corresponding angles are congruent, so we're looking at this one right here, then the lines are parallel. Notice that's pretty much how they all end up there. Okay, so we're proving that the two lines are parallel. So if we can prove something about the angles, or if we can show a relationship between the angles, then we can prove those two lines are parallel. So let's go over here. So we're going to look at the angles that they gave us. They give us this angle in here. And remember that whole thing of basically tracing the angle, and then I want the other angle that's in here. So now basically I have this Z, and that Z means those are alternate interior angles. Now if those two lines were parallel, then those angles are congruent. And we can say the converse of that. If those two angles are congruent, then those two lines are parallel. So they say, what would the measure be? We would have to be, if they were congruent, so if it was also 118, and then you'd state the postulate or theorem. And in this case, it would be the converse of alternate interior angle theorem. Okay, so this is super important. If you don't put converse on it, it's going to be marked wrong. It is the converse of alternate interior angles. All right, so I'm going to give you some time. You go ahead and do this one. Go ahead and pause the video and find out what those two, what the measure of the question mark, the angle, would be in order to make those two, what does it need to be in order to make those two lines parallel. So again, you're going to start by tracing the angle, trace the other angle. Oh look, we have another Z. So they are also converse of the interior angle theorem. Okay? So there you go. Let's try another one. Go ahead and pause it. Try to do this on your own. Okay, so hopefully you got the answer. Now again, you do the same thing. It doesn't matter if it looks a little bit harder. It's the same thing. So you're going to trace the angle. You're going to trace the other angle. What do we have? We have a C. If we remember what that means, that means those are same side interior angles. So same side interior angles. But remember, if you don't put converse in front of it, it's wrong. Same side interior angle theorem states that if the two lines are parallel, blah, blah, blah. The converse is that you find the measure of the angle first, and if they are supplementary, then those two lines will be then parallel. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to want to pay attention to. Notice that these don't have the little arrows to show they're parallel. If you don't see the arrows to say they're parallel, then that means you're going to be having to prove that they're parallel. So if you don't see the little arrows, you're going to want the word converse in front of it. Okay, that's pretty much what you're going to be looking for. All right, so what are we looking for? We know that they need to be supplementary. So we're going to take the green one and we're going to add it to the yellow one. So x plus 101 plus x plus 91 equals 180. See, this time they are not equal to each other. It depends on what kind of angles they are. Same side interior, same side exterior are supplementary. Okay? So then you're just going to add them up. Subtract. Oops. 192. And we're going to have -12. And I know that seems like it's not going to work, but remember, that's just finding x. So now, let's see, what is it? Was the question asked? Find the measure of the indicated angle. Well, I guess in this case we'd have to find the measure of both of the angles. All right, so x equals -6. So this is 90. So this angle here is 95 degrees. And this angle here is 85 degrees. Okay, and that's pretty much it. The big thing is you want to make sure you put the word converse in front of it. Converse in front of it. And you want to make sure you take a look at the angles, right? You have to know, you want to trace them, and then you have to know what there's the F. When you have the F, that means they are congruent. They are on the same side, but they're corresponding this time. Remember, when you get the F, it's corresponding angles. All right, and then you want to basically keep going. Okay, and that would be it. You know what? Let's give you another one. You guys go ahead and solve this one. Okay, so there's the answer. You get 105 degrees. Hopefully that's what you got. And that's it. We'll see you next time.